You know, everyone says they want to be a CEO one day. It's the big goal, right? The ultimate seat at the table. But here's the problem. Most executives are still thinking like mid-level managers, right? They're focused on tasks, deadlines, firefighting. And that mindset will keep you stuck. Because by the time you're in the top seat, you don't get the luxury of learning on the fly. So today, you're in luck. I'm going to walk you through the CEO Playbook and really the 5 mindset shifts you need to make before you even get the job, otherwise you won't. Now, these are the same shifts I see in clients who break through to these positions, and the absence of them is exactly why others stall out. All right, just give me 1 second and we'll get back to the video because I want to help you. You know, the number one problem I see with job seekers is they're unsure of what they're targeting next. They don't know where they want to work. What industry pays the most money? How much money do they want to make? Which makes an executive search absolutely impossible. So hey, I have a guide for you, Clarity Guide, how to get clear on your next career move. If you'd like a copy, email me over at tim@execupgrades.com. Talk to you soon. Now, let me tell you the biggest freaking difference I see between a VP and a CEO. A VP thinks like activities. Did we launch the campaign? Did we implement the system? Did we complete the project? A CEO only thinks in outcomes. Did that campaign bring market share? Did the system reduce costs, improve margins? Did that project change the trajectory of the business, right? Boards, investors, and employees don't care about the activity list. They care about the freaking scoreboard. You know, I had a client, VP of marketing, who came into every executive meeting talking about like campaigns, channels, impressions. But when I pushed her to reframe everything in terms of pipeline growth, revenue impact, man, her presence changed instantly. And within months, she wasn't just the marketing VP, she was seen as a trusted business advisor. So ask yourself, are you still reporting your activities or are you telling the story of your outcomes? The second one you're gonna have to make is speed over perfection. You know, executives who stall out at VPs are often perfectionists. They want 100% of the data, every risk analyzed, every stakeholder signed off, and by the time they make the decision, the opportunity's freaking gone. CEOs can't afford that. They make high stakes calls with 60 to 70% of the data, and they'd rather move quickly and adjust than wait and like miss a window. You know, look at Jeff Bezos at Amazon. He literally said, if you wait for 90% of the information, you're too slow. Or Elon Musk, right? Love him or hate him, he moves at breaking speed, and even when he fails, he learns and recalibrates faster than his competitors. Now, I'm not saying be reckless, but you have to show you can make bold calls, right? And if every time someone asks for a decision, you say, I need more data, you're showing up like a little manager, a middle manager, not a future CEO, and probably a little manager as well. You know, and here's something people don't like to hear. Leadership is political. Not dirty politics, strategic ones. CEOs know that every decision isn't just about logic, it's about influence. Every decision impacts employees, boards, shareholders, customers. Now, I've coached VPs who thought, man, if I do just great work, I'll get promoted. And then they're like shocked when someone less talented, but more politically savvy gets the nod. You know, a VP of Ops I worked with was brilliant at execution, but he was invisible to the board. He didn't build alliances, he didn't cultivate influences, and when the COO role opened, and of course he was passed over with someone with less experience, but stronger relationships. CEOs are judged not just on results, but on their ability to bring people with them. That means building allies, sponsoring others, navigating conflict without burning bridges. If you hate politics, you're probably not gonna make it to the top. But if you master it, you'll shape the company. Now, storytelling. Managers deliver data, VPs deliver decks, CEOs deliver vision. Data doesn't inspire people, stories do. If you're walking into a board meeting with the 60 slide deck full of charts, you're missing the point. You know, the CEO is gonna take that deck and boil it down to one narrative. Here's the problem, here's our plan, here's the outcome we're gonna get. Look at Steve Jobs. He didn't get on stage and say, this iPhone has 32 gigs of storage and this display. He said, this changes everything. Man, that's storytelling. Now, you don't need to be Steve Jobs, but you do need to practice framing information as a story people can believe in. And if you can't tell a compelling story, you'll never inspire employees, investors, or customers. And at the top, that's your job. Now, number 5, middle managers lead teams, CEOs lead culture. The CEO's job isn't to manage people, it's to shape how they think, act, and behave as an organization. That's why when a new CEO comes in, everything changes overnight. right? Look at member Satya at Microsoft. Before him, the culture was super toxic, internal competition, silos, politics. He came in, shifted everything. Suddenly, collaboration improved, innovation took off, and the stock price tripled. Culture is leadership at scale, and here's the key. You don't have to wait until you're a CEO to practice it. Right now, in your own division, you're shaping culture with every policy you set, every behavior you tolerate, and every value you reinforce. Now, if you want to prove you're CEO ready, show that you're already leading culture, not just projects and tasks. So let's recap. This CEO Playbook boils down these 5 things. Think outcomes, not activities, right? Value speed over perfection. Master strategic politics. Tell stories, not just sharing data. Lead culture, not just teams. And if you can make these shifts before you get the title, you'll be seen as CEO ready. When that opportunity comes, you'll already be ready to succeed. So here's my question to you. Which one of these 5 things do you need to work on right freaking now? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. If you're serious about breaking through to the highest levels, don't just sit back and hope and pray it happens. Subscribe down below, right, for more inside strategies. If you want help accelerating your path to the C-suite, reach out to us at Executive Career Upgrades at execupgrades.com. Because the only thing between you and that nice corner office is how fast you start thinking like the person who already has it.